Doctor. I'm Sharmila Devi and Apompan Vincent. So over here, the case study they have choose to discuss is about the evidence that dyslexia may represent the lower tail of a normal distribution of reading ability. So the outline of this case study from the quantitative longitudinal study, a sample survey of 414 congregate children which entered kindergarten in 1983 and were followed as a longitudinal cohort. And dyslexia was defined in terms of a discrepancy score, which represents the difference between actual reading achievement and achievement predicted on the basis of measures of intelligence. And dyslexia is now widely believed to be a biologically based disorder that is distinct from other, less specific reading problems. So the reading ability is considered to follow a bimodal distribution with dyslexia as the lower mode, and reading ability follows a normal distribution with dyslexia at the lower end at the continuum. So for the introduction and background, we have used the findings to argue that reading ability is bimodally distributed with specific reading data appearing as the extreme lower tail, and generally assume that the failure to learn that to read represents a specific syndrome that is distinct from the normal distribution of poor readers, and discrete entity serves as the basis both for investigations into the neurobiology of dyslexia and for the diagnosis of dyslexia and the provision of services to the persons with the disorder. So for the design of the experiment, the method used is sample selection and statistical analysis. So for the sample selection, we have used the children included in the study were selected by means of a two-stage probability sample survey. So briefly, two kindergarten classes within each of 12 selected communities were chosen randomly so that each class within a town had an equal probability of selection. And for the statistical analysis, we have expressed as a discrepancy between the level of reading achievement predicted on the basis of intelligence ability on the actual level of reading achievement. And we have defined the discrepancy score as the difference between the observed achievement level and the predicted achievement level based on the IQ score. The discrepancy score therefore depended on the choice of achievement and IQ test. So if dyslexia follows a normal distribution model, each discrepancy score should follow a univariate normal distribution regardless of which particular component of IQ. So two distinct discrepancy scores would be interrelated by a bivariate normal distribution. So this distribution describes two quantities, each of which has a univariate normal distribution and whose correlation with one another follows an explicitly defined equation. So the result is examined whether the normal distribution model adequately fit the IQ and achievement data by examining all the discrepancy scores for formality, and it shows a typical plot of the age standardized reading score as compared with the full scale IQ for our sample, where if you see the degree of correlation between these two variables is 0.68. So the figure 1a shows a typical plot of a computer generated bivariate normal distribution with a correlation coefficient of 0.6, and the similarity of these figures is evident, giving empirical support to the appropriateness of the normal distribution model. So furthermore, I have also used the model to investigate the longitudinal stability of dyslexia, that is to examine the relations of the same reading disability classifications employed in different school years. So the figure 1c, which is the discrepancy scores for grades 3 and 5, illustrates the nature of this relation. So for the figure 2 shows the correlation of two distinct criteria for classifying a child as having dyslexia, DS1 and DS2, and the probability that a child classified as dyslexic according to the first criterion, DS1, would also be classified according to the second, DS2. Thus, if one has knowledge only of the correlation of the discrepancy scores, this figure can be used to calculate the predicted stability of the diagnosis of dyslexia over time. So when examining the stability of the diagnosis of reading disability later on from grade 3 to 5, we found 30 children classified as dyslexic in grade 3 and 24 in grade 5, with 14 classified in both grades. A complete enumeration of all possible bivariate combinations of discrepancy scores yielded a total of 3,402 comparisons. So because of the use of multiple tests, we would expect to find a lack of fit for 5% of the fares at each cutoff value. So for the conclusion and also for the recommendation, this study allowed us to investigate a commonly held belief that dyslexia is a discrete diagnostic entity And dyslexia occurs along a continuum that blends imperceptibly with normal reading ability. Subjects in the lower tail of the distribution provided of the basis for the widely held belief that dyslexia is a discrete entity. So, reading difficulties, including dyslexia, occur as part of a continuum that also includes normal reading ability, and the variability inherent in the diagnosis of dyslexia can be both quantified and predicted with the use of the normal distribution model. So the sample population with the measures we used or with the procedures for administering the test could have influenced our results. For example, the tails of distribution are especially sensitive to small effects since the number of observations is low in relation to the number of observations in the central portion of the distribution. So these are the reference that I have used. And Doctor, sorry, I have changed my topic of my case study because previous they have sent you the case study. I have studied in deep about that, and it has not related much with what we have studied. So I have changed the topic to this topic, madam. Sorry, doctor. Thank you, doctor. That's all from me, doctor.